Hey everyone! Welcome to our deep dive into the sometimes confusing but always important world of risk assessment. You know, life is full of surprises, and not all of them are good ones. But by understanding and managing potential risks, we can definitely make those unexpected plot twists a little less dramatic. Today, we'll be your guide on a journey to master the art of risk assessment. We'll be breaking down this systematic process into bite-sized pieces, making it easier for you to understand, implement, and ultimately safeguard your endeavors. Whether you're running a multinational corporation, a small business, or even just trying to navigate the perilous waters of your own kitchen renovation, understanding risk is the key to, well, not ending up with a disaster on your hands. All right. Let's kick things off with the first and probably the most crucial step: identifying hazards. Think of hazards as those pesky tripwires or potholes on the road of your success. They're anything with the potential to cause harm, damage, or throw a wrench in your plans. We're talking about physical hazards like slippery surfaces or faulty equipment, chemical hazards such as toxic substances or fumes, biological hazards, think bacteria or viruses, and even ergonomic hazards, like those uncomfortable chairs that give you backaches. Don't forget about the psychological hazards like stress and burnout, which can be just as detrimental. Remember, hazards can be sneaky and often lurk in the shadows. So be thorough, channel your inner detective, and leave no stone unturned. So, we've identified the potential hazards, those landmines in our path. Now let's figure out where they're coming from. This step is all about playing detective and tracing those hazards back to their roots. Are your risks related to the equipment you use? Maybe it's an old machine that's seen better days, or a poorly designed workstation. Or perhaps the culprit is the process itself, involving hazardous materials or requiring complex procedures. Don't forget to consider the human element. Human error is a significant source of risk, whether it's due to lack of training, fatigue, or just plain old human fallibility. Now that we know what we're dealing with, it's time to put on our analytical hats and assess the severity of each risk. This step is crucial because it helps us prioritize our efforts and allocate resources where they're needed most. Imagine a risk matrix, like a giant game board, with severity on one axis and likelihood on the other. High severity, high likelihood. That's your red alert zone, demanding immediate attention. Low severity, low likelihood. You can probably breathe a sigh of relief, but keep an eye on it. Remember, assessing risk is not about eliminating every single possibility of something going wrong. It's about understanding the potential consequences and making informed decisions to minimize those consequences. Okay. We've identified our hazards, traced them back to their sources, and assessed their severity. Now it's time to play the ranking game. This step is all about prioritizing our risks, because let's face it, we can't tackle everything at once. Think of it like sorting your to-do list. You probably wouldn't tackle a minor task with a distant deadline before a major project due tomorrow, right? Same goes for risk management. Those risks with the highest potential impact and likelihood of occurrence, those are your VIPs, demanding immediate attention. Lower down on the list are those risks that, while important, can be addressed later. We've spent a lot of time analyzing and evaluating risks, but now it's time to roll up our sleeves and start building our defenses. This step is all about finding ways to control and mitigate those identified risks, making them less likely to occur or minimizing their impact if they do. Think of it like this. You wouldn't walk a tightrope without a safety net, right? Similarly, in risk management, we want to put measures in place to catch us if we fall, or better yet, prevent us from falling in the first place. This might involve implementing engineering controls, like installing safety guards on machinery or improving ventilation systems. Or it could mean administrative controls, such as implementing training programs, establishing clear procedures, or using personal protective equipment. Congratulations! You've identified hazards, assessed risks, and implemented control measures. But our work here isn't done. Risk is not a static thing. It's constantly evolving, shifting, and finding new ways to surprise us. That's why it's crucial to regularly monitor and review our risk assessments and control measures. Think of it like checking the weather forecast before you leave the house. Just because it's sunny now doesn't mean a storm isn't brewing on the horizon. Regular monitoring allows us to spot changes in our operating environment, identify new hazards, and evaluate the effectiveness of our existing control measures. Risk management isn't a solo mission, it's a team effort. To be truly effective, we need to involve all relevant stakeholders, from employees to managers to customers. This means communicating clearly and openly about risks, control measures, and everyone's role in maintaining a safe and healthy environment. Think of it like a relay race. Everyone needs to be on the same page, understand their role, and pass the baton smoothly to ensure a successful outcome. Communication helps build a culture of safety, where everyone feels empowered to speak up about potential hazards, near misses, or suggestions for improvement. Documentation. It might not be the most exciting part of risk management, but it's definitely one of the most important. Think of it like keeping a risk management diary, a detailed record of our journey through the world of hazards, assessments, and control measures. This documentation serves as a valuable resource for future reviews, audits, and even legal purposes. It demonstrates our commitment to safety, provides evidence of our decision-making process, and helps us learn from our experiences. So, what should we be documenting? Everything. From our initial hazard identification to our risk assessments, control measures, monitoring results, and any changes we make along the way. And finally, we come to the last but certainly not least step in our risk management journey: review and improvement. Remember how we said risk is constantly evolving? Well, so are our risk management strategies. It's not enough to simply go through the motions of risk assessment and then file it away, hoping for the best. We need to be constantly evaluating our processes, looking for ways to improve and adapting to new challenges. This might involve revisiting our hazard identification, reassessing risks, or implementing new control measures. The key is to never become complacent, to always be on the lookout for ways to enhance our safety culture and create a more resilient organization. So, there you have it. A crash course in the world of risk assessment. By following these steps, organizations can systematically identify and manage risks to minimize their impact and enhance overall resilience. Remember, risk is an inherent part of life, but by understanding it, we can navigate its complexities with confidence and achieve our goals safely and responsibly. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content on safety, health, and all things risk management. Until next time, stay safe and keep those hazards at bay.